Hey everyone, Brendan Graber here with Tom Marks.
Hello.
And BlizzCon today, we got our first look at Warcraft 3 Reforged. Tom, what's going on?
Dude, I'm so excited about this. We've heard rumblings for a really long time about the Classics game team working on things and maybe the Warcraft projects in the works. We finally got an official announcement for Warcraft 3 Remastered. It's called Reforged, but that's what it is. It's a Warcraft 3 Remaster. And frankly, everyone, whether you're a Warcraft 3 fan or not, should be excited about this. It's so exciting.
I think growing up, that was a big game for a lot of people. Like that was like a turning point. Even as a person who doesn't do well in strategy games, like it took the lore of the Warcraft universe by that point and just went places with an extremely gripping story and wonderful mechanics that have evolved to this day that are still good. And to see them go back and taking a look at them is really promising.
Well, that's one of the amazing things about Warcraft 3, and I think something that kind of gets lost to time, because Warcraft 3 laid the groundwork for things like World of Warcraft. It laid the groundwork for, it invented the MOBA genre with the Defense of the Ancients custom game. It is such a root of so many different things that you forget that it's also just an amazing game. It has a fantastic campaign. It's one of the best RTSs, frankly, ever made.
One of my favorite storylines of any character is Arthas's downfall and rise to the Lich King. And to see that redone. Like, I had forgotten how this game has aged, and like the events in my head that I play through of some of those like scenes. Not the cinematics, but like the in-game cutscenes. They're just like, remember when he killed that guy? It's like, and like they've actually gone back and like the cutscenes in the game now, they're really zoomed in. Instead of just having like a talking head in a corner, you actually have that animation of the character, and like looking at the culling scene that they have a trailer for side by side with how it looked back in the day, it's worlds apart.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Let's talk a little bit about the visuals too, because that's the biggest pull here, right? Is that, or the most obvious, is that they're redid all of the visuals from the ground up, all the maps, all the units. I think the models, I'm really happy that it looks like Warcraft 3 still. Like, it definitely doesn't feel like they've gone too far away from that style.
Right.
And the models look really lovely. It does look a little odd from the top-down like gameplay they've showed.
I also feel like, I don't know if it's because it's in progress, but like I feel like Uther and Arthas are extremely detailed, even when you're zoomed out. But then the other characters, like the standard units, maybe because they want to make them look like, you know, larger than life among the standard guys, but it kind of looks a little jarring at the moment. Like they're like kind of like less textured than they are, or less detailed. But I still like the look overall, and it's,
I do too. I really want to see what it's going to look like finalized, and I want to actually get my hands
I think on the website, they don't even have the Dark Elf models yet. They just say, check back soon, like the silhouettes. So they're still working on these, so there's plenty of room to change. The
game is slated for 2019, so we don't know when next year, but it's coming next year. And I think if they're not giving us a window, it probably means late 2019. One of the things I really also wanted to touch on, though, is we talked about custom games. They're doing full BattleNet integration with this, with modern matchmaking. They're doing balance changes across the board, hundreds of balance changes, they said, and they're going to have a revamped world and level editor and a revamped custom games options. So all of that, which was such a core part of Warcraft 3, is going to be there.
And it still is today. The people still play custom matches in Warcraft 3, and they still make their different worlds and the different Dota things. Like, you could remaster Dota in this.
Yes, you could do Dota Reforged, Defense of the Ancients Reforged, and I'm sure somebody will. Custom games are so much of what I remember from Warcraft 3. I don't think they could have done a remaster without it. I'm really glad to say they didn't try.
Yeah, like there's so many ways you could take that already, and to see how they might now, knowing what they know now instead of before, how they can actually complement creators for BattleNet and the online experience of like, I want to see what people can come up with in the Reforged edition.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything else to?
I'm just pumped.
Just pumped?
I just am really excited, and I really think you should be excited too. Even if you're not a strategy fan, even if you're not a Warcraft fan, it's something. This is a piece of history coming back in what looks like pretty lovingly made.
Oh yeah.
And checking a lot of the boxes people have been hoping for something like this.
Well, we have a lot of BlizzCon coverage, so be sure to check that out. And for everything else for Warcraft, you're in the right place. It's at IGN.